Yes, it is the 18th, and I'm just wanting to say happy Saturday. I wanted to bring up a fact that I carry Himalayan salt for a reason. The reason why I carry Himalayan salt is because energetically I use it to basically protect my aura from a lot of other energies. My energy is like a sponge. So I don't know if you're like an empath or something, but empaths, they feel a lot more sensitive than most people. And that with being said, it's not just the physical, but it's also the actual energetic field. So I carry this salt with me a lot because it helps sort of just improve that energetic field and aura. It's actually good for the skin as well. The skin. All right. So today's video, I just wanted to just bring something up right here. Let me show this. Today I was going for a walk and I had to pretty much just like think about a lot of things, think about the present, be in the present moment. This takes a lot of good energy healing when you could actually breathe and just heal and just be in a state where you're completely focused with the things in the present. I basically drew this a long time ago. This was 2 months ago I drew this. And obviously I was figuring out why this would happen, but then of course, if you were chosen for some particular aspect of your soul calling, well, I'm guessing this is why. So if you just look at this, it's sort of just like a map, almost just like a map. But the two main things up here is to define you as your character, which is the sun, and to know what your shadow is in a whirlpool of souls in that matter. Yes. So to continue with this video, I wanted to center myself and to just take a note of all the other videos previously that I've taken and what I was lacking. I wanted to be more confident in everything that I say because it is, for a fact, honestly true, and it comes deep down through the core of someone's innate being. And I would actually compliment that for a fact for other people to reach that stage in your life where you are confident and you are basically your truth and how you express yourself. So I remember at one point someone was giving out ticket vouchers on the street. And let me do this way. Anyways, I just want to see and basically point this out if you're curious enough to see it. It says, and this is a ticket to you, okay? Imagine that you are your character in this movie, this particular virtual reality of a movie, and it's basically all about who this person is, what they're capable of, and the most important thing is basically what are they trying to do, or like what do they want in life, where are they trying to be in, and is this going to lead to that rise? Well, definitely I will tell you for a fact that you can. You're not held down, you're not restricted, and you can definitely rise. This QR code down here, which I would want to like basically just like point out as well, I had to mention for a fact that the old Podshare that I was in, that business that I was in, Had no clue what a QR code was, so I had to pretty much pinpoint what that was. It was something that was brand new to the whole industry that they were running. But QR codes makes it easier for people to scan something into a web-based format where they can open up on their internet right away. I had to voice out that opinion because obviously they wasn't aware of what that was, so I wanted to educate that. They were basically like used to the whole, oh, this is a square format that we're doing today, but I just wanted to let you know that QR codes are very much indeed very helpful for the business and for the consumer themselves. Oh yeah, I have to be blunt too as well. Today I had to voice out an opinion that I had, and it was basically just to stand up for a lot of workers as well. I work at, or used to work at, this place. It's called Islands Restaurant, and I'm just trying to be open about this in the best respectful way that I can, and just to be truly authentic to the core. What wasn't valid to me, and what was basically really the thing that really just I had to voice out the truth. So basically, I had sent out a message saying that this restaurant is basically overworking the cooks in the back. There's 15 servers in the front who's basically just talking story, and there's one person in the back literally doing all the dishes. Hence, this restaurant has about 300 to 500 people coming in every day, getting seated, and basically it's busy. Within the hour, basically orders just left top to bottom. And the expectations are quite clear. It's a 7 to 10 minute plate per, I guess, rush, right? But in actuality, this is undeniably pretty much impossible for somebody to actually do with one person, especially to the fact where if you do set out these plates, it's gonna look quite messy. The amount of disrespect too as well to one of these supervisors on the floor speaks Spanish, and I myself do not speak Spanish, and I kept telling this gentleman that I don't speak Spanish more than 6 times, and he's still talking to me in Spanish, things that I do not understand. And I'm like, I'm doing my work, and like every 5 minutes this guy has something to say. The way that the amount of disrespect and like the way that he's trying to actually convey the message to the workers was basically something that I had to voice out. I mean, I don't know if you do work in a place where you feel like you're overworked, super tired, and not even getting paid for what you're worth or what you're working for. I'm pretty much just gonna voice that out. For a fact, I'm not afraid to actually speak up the truth, and that's the truth. That's why I had to actually leave. And just coming from someone who actually had a business and ran their business pretty well, I just had to say that, like, for that fact, I don't even treat any of my workers with that much disrespect. I mean, I'd like to encourage them to do better. I mean, isn't that what every business should do? To encourage others to do better and not to pinpoint the wrongs and basically make them feel like it's not worth their time, obviously. This is what I just have to point out, that like I believe in some way that maybe some industries like this would get better, but just coming from a whole worker point of view, being in management and all, coming from someone who actually works hard and who is a hard worker and who knows and actually picks up things pretty quickly and well, just the things that's actually just being seen out there in a workforce is something that might be beneficial to others as well, as to have some sort of improvement where it works both for both management as well as the workers who are actually putting in the labor. the hard labor out there. So I just had to point that out. And I was pretty much proud and confident in everything that I said. Thus far, everything that was true, and I am not going to go back on that. I understand for a fact that other people might have their own ways, they might have different perceptions, they might go into this whole knowing that, oh, I am content with this, and this is where I want to actually be in life, where they're actually overworked, where they're actually not getting paid for what they're worth. But this is for a fact with my opinion and how I experience things that I had to voice out. I had to bring this out, and I had to basically rise above this situation. And for a fact, I want to get better at the way I speak. It comes with a lot of practice and a lot of experience and a lot of downfalls. But each downfall that you have is basically a stepping stone in the right direction, because failure only leads you to one thing: success. So I just want to bring this up, respect in a matter, respectfully. From my point of view to yours, I respect your opinion, and I do hope that you do respect mine. Anyways, I want to bring this up as well, since we're all speaking truths here. I want to keep it really short and simple, to the point, and to the fact that I want to encourage others to voice out their particular ways of being and their opinions, and to not be afraid of who you are as a person, as opposed to having all of these other voices to try to direct you to a place where it actually decreases your light. I feel like everyone has a certain light in them, and they should use that to their advantage to help encourage and lead others in the right direction. So this is why I'm coming to the actual wanting to be in this whole career path, and I am definitely gonna go towards that. So this is something for the Norm that I actually wrote. And dear Norm, I respectfully, and I want to voice out that you are good at where you're at, but honestly, I love to challenge that status quo. I love to think outside the norm and actually excel in everything that is at its potentially highest in that degree, and to encourage others to rise. Alright, so this is my reflection in the mirror, and I'm gonna tell you, reflection, we came a long way, and we are still going, and we will be the best that we can be and live our highest potential. And this is the affirmation and intention that I'm setting out there into the beyond, including the void, including the unknown, and for any virtual aspect that is listening to this right now. Okay, so let's bring this up. I'm gonna say warrior. I just wanted to note that I did write this song. This was 2 years ago, actually a year and a half ago, and this was basically during that whole alone time where I had went through with just me and basically who we call source, or something out there that was basically just figuring out who I was. So, with that said, if anything, if I wanted to actually express this in a way where it is completely authentic with everything that I say, the only thing that breaks you only makes you stronger. And you will never break if it hasn't killed you, but what has not killed you only makes you stronger. Believe that. Okay, so let's bring this up, shall we? It's called Warrior. Okay, so it goes like this. A year and a half ago, short blonde hair, everything in that mix, a lot of pride. I mean, honestly, right now, I'm just stepping more into confidence. Just stepping more into that confidence, that inner confidence, rather than the whole perception of pride, which before I understand pride was a problem. But to be honest, right now, I'm gonna step into that whole phase of faith of who I am. And that requires a lot of confidence of who I am and not literally hiding any aspect of it. Obviously, we need to be empowered today. Not controlled, but to be empowered. Who the heck in life wants to be controlled with everything that they're actually doing? Especially to the fact where it doesn't even fit their best interests, or if it's not even explaining or defining who they are. Obviously, why would you want to be in that situation anyways, where you have to feel judged about being something that you're not, about being something that is different to the actual norm? To me, I like to challenge that. And basically, I'm stepping up. I'm going to step up to this arena. Whatever that this whole calling had called me. Actually, a week ago, this happened a week ago, and it was like a lot of signs and synchronicities, and I'm like, maybe it's time to step into that arena. Hopefully, it's not going to be virtual, but we'll see. We'll see. French Alps. Also wanted to say as well, I went to France once in my life, and that was on a vacation with my mom. Nothing especially happened, like special, that was pretty much, when I was there, but when I was in France, obviously, there was a lot of people who smoked, a lot of cool, fancy places, a lot of old, raggedy, historic buildings, and for the fact someone gave me a wrong direction to a place. And that was the only thing. Nothing special happened in France, but I just had a cool vacation out there and it was fun. I just want to say that like most of their stuff was sort of overpriced when I was there, so yeah, it's like literally quite expensive in Europe, so yeah. And also, I want to note as well, I did catch some things in the virtual aspect where I caught some transit things, but like literally wasn't even there. And then when I looked at my phone, it was like, yeah. So I don't know if that was like part of the whole mix, but I've sort of caught on to that. This virtual reality thing, I wanted to actually just challenge the fact, is it reality or is this just something that's consciously controlled with our minds? I'm sure that maybe the curious might find an answer, or maybe it'll just be one of those days where the answer just comes to you, and the answer is literally just you. Literally, it's you. So, here we go. Goes like this. I am brave, I am universal. I see and feel numerous sides. I work, I produce, I ride. Rules I don't follow sometimes. I only follow where it leads the most good. That's where it gets misunderstood. I can't cope with things that doesn't trigger my high. I do things without thinking sometimes. I choose not to hurt myself or be in drugs, but I still want to get that paper up. Feel like I still have loose ends. I face them headfirst and then I'm never feeling limited when things are infinite. People can't choose anything like tipping as I'm still here. Yeah, existing. Still I am universal as the breaking point goes vertical in myself where everyone goes through it sometimes. Do not want to keep the toxic inside. Want to evolve and own up in this ride to start over where I'm honest with myself. You should heal as there is needed help, like help, help, hello, help, help, hello, help, help, hello, help, help, hello. Eat the sushi in my mind with Japanese signs. Only said that to match the words with my rhymes. And that's the truth. I'm a warrior of the light, that's the only thing I follow. It leads with the heart and ends with the shadow. I'm a warrior of the light, that's the only thing I follow. It leads with the heart and ends with the shadow. I let go of the old and open with the new energy. See it like a vast amount of human synergy. I simplify the time as there's need no rush. I need to accept things and how it feels to give up. Life is great and it's to appreciate. I make peace with the karma I held last year. German lingo is gone as I put it in the rear. The pattern is in my mind as I'm honest with myself. That's my purpose, to connect with everyone else. I enjoy the simple and it does want more. I go back and forth as I redo, but feel myself back in chaos. The universe will be rebuilt from what it has lost. I want to create the life I want to live as much as this truthful can't give, full of meaning with less clutter. Karens learn from each other, laid back as much as discomfort. To break barriers as life is joy every day. Even frozen things can melt away the different weather in society's structure. So want to bask in the hot, hot summer. I'm broke right now, but there's still hope. My mind is cracked, but it will cope. And then this is the most important aspect of the last part. That things should not be forced. There is a source, a circle into one. As it is one, no hiding as it should not be shunned. I choose fans over bands because I can feel it coming near. Quote unquote, everything you want is on the other side of fear. So fuck fear. Fuck fear. I said fuck fear. Fuck fear. Fuck fear. Fuck fear. Fuck fear. Fuck fear. I'm a warrior of the light. That's the only thing I follow. It leads with the heart and ends with the shadow. I'm a warrior of the light. That's the only thing I follow. It leads with the and ends with the shadow. Okay. So as I'm just like sharing this with you, I just wanted to say as well, that was the old basically rapping stuff that I had, and this was part of the whole journey in self-discovery, as it were. Not just that, but basically looking internally and accepting who you are rather than having the external forces force you to be something you're not. And that should be true, and I'm gonna go ahead and voice that out. It's basically what I believe in and what I'm gonna stand for. This other thing I want to bring up as well. All right. So I wanted to continue the other thing, stepping into this writing thing that I had. That story that basically started off with stepping out into that void, basically stepping into that void and just having this journey. And this journey was basically something that was tough, something that challenges somebody and lead them to, I guess, be that person, their true calling, and just basically just go from there. So I'm going to continue where I left off. One more, I step to the next piece of wood and I can feel my heart skipping beats. This is only day one and I really have to go through this, don't I? I took off my jacket and placed it on the wood above me, just in case one of the wood below was loose. By the looks of it, I can see parts of the screw already stripped and rusty. I have about 7 steps more to go. I looked down and I had to really stretch my legs apart to catch the width of the wood. Slow and steady, I keep repeating. I get to the last piece of wood and it broke in half. As I look above, I can see that getting up would even be more difficult. And this is where it continues. I walk towards the edge of the rocks and enjoy the breeze blowing at my sweat. I take off my shirt and step into the icy cold corner and even see a bunch of fish in it. Just a lonesome person here enjoying the tide pool that this island has to offer. Okay, let's see. Okay, never mind. That's not where it stopped. But I'm just gonna continue from there. I take off my shirt and step into the icy cold pool out before me. I can see colorful coral on each corner and even see a bunch of fish in it. Just a lonesome person having here enjoying the tide pool that this island has to offer. There was literally no one here but me. I dive headfirst inside the pool and wash my face. When I was at age 25, I remember a quick view of my old life as $100, $50 champagne hit my face in the bathtub of the Signature Hotel in Vegas. I got super drunk with those 4 bottles and knocked out of Blue Supermans, and did I remember carrying the loads of my personal belongings out of there? No, but the taste of champagne lingered in my mouth in that tide pool for no apparent reason. I swallowed the ocean water. An hour later, I make my way out of the pool. I took one of my shirt in my hiking bag and wiped my face. I walked towards the ladder, and this is one for the books. If I survive this ladder, which is possibly a 65% chance, knowing that at any moment one of the wood might break, then my journey will continue. I use another shirt as leverage to make my way up and find that this was even worse than coming down. I stretch my feet as far as I can. I pull my right leg just above my hip bone and see my foot above its height. I have steps to go. One after the other, I pace myself, not looking below. Just 2 more and I can feel my knees shaking. I shouldn't have looked down. I take a deep breath and my right hand makes its way to the shirt I left on the top of the ladder. I pull myself up over the edge of the mountain and victory as I land right on top of the ridge. I wonder what's in store next. I mean, it's been sort of a huge accomplishment where the fear of the unknown is there. I know for a fact that I had been treading along myself as I let go of what the surmountable things that would be so obvious as materialism can define. Yes, a life full of really instant gratification can define. Maybe if I get to survive this whole journey on my own, maybe then can I find the real thing that actually matters. Today is just the beginning of something new, and maybe then can I discover what it is to find a soul journey can define. December 2, 2021. It's as if I had a dream last night about being the last person on this planet. If that were true, then maybe I did put myself in this position. Maybe or suppose everything did happen for a reason. And suppose indeed I am the only person who can truly reason with the answer. So the answer referencing from an echo as to what I'm searching for, and what is it that led me to be alone. I look around the bottom of this area that I'm in, the dirt on the ground stretching as far as 10 miles. I'm the only one who dared to look for a hike as daring as this, but maybe I was called to it. I know for a fact that the odd really stuck out of traditional theories. I feel my right side of my cheek, and it appeared to be warm. Sunburn. No wonder that part is so red. Okay, and this is a prologue. Prologue as it is to the real story. The path of least resistance is where you are not struggling with yourself when doing something. Wake up and smell the coffee. Breathe. Are you present today? If you're thinking about tomorrow, you're anxious. If you're thinking about yesterday, you are sad. Because of those reasons, there are many obstacles that we face today for no apparent circumstance. This is why it is so hard to move on in life or to be happy. During my journey, I've learned so many things, mostly about myself and what kind of person I am. It was during that time of complete solitude where I finally found my center. The center that never changes no matter how hard I move. It will always remain true to who I am. There was many times where I would catch myself changing personalities in different times. I named a bunch of those personalities to fit their character. I knew for a fact that my higher self was calling, and it is about time I took action with it. There is never the perfect time for anything, but there is always time for now. This reading is to help those who are struggling with their own identity, and better yet, a vision on how to get there. And this goes with this famous quote. She takes smart risks that carries a wild spirit unbroken. The journey to the North Star. Okay. And then this is part 1. I'm just going to read part 1. And then we're going to continue part 2 in the next video. But it gets a little bit more intense after that. It's all in the mind, by the way. Okay. Part 1. Part 1 is called... Oh. Okay. To continue. Part 1 is the alien who causes chaos, and let's go ahead and this is a peace offering of wheat. So wheat, in a sense, we need to take care of wheat because wheat is the answer. Just saying. Okay. The alien who causes chaos. It's weird. Someone who seemed to have their whole life planned out and executed pretty well would least likely be in this position. Lost, alone, and broke. Where am I? In the middle of nowhere, wearing an orange raincoat in the middle of San Francisco. For one thing, I know for a fact that I'm smart enough to save and find a job right away. Well, why isn't it working for me right now? It's as if I leaned into a magnet without wanting to get sucked into it. A magnifying glass would help to know what future lies ahead of this so-called internal journey. Aha! A bit of sarcasm would help if I had someone with me to laugh at it, but no. I'm alone with the big God, God, as they could call it. Where am I going with this? Leverett Grissom helped me as much as he can with the so-called rapping I was trying to get into. It's not at all that right now, but after some practice, it will get better. Not one for the higher ranks like Twista or Tupac, R.I.P. Tupac, but I named my second Maltese that. The Maltese prior to him was Biggie Smalls. I still remember that day, a small fluffy but dirty Maltese came to me in the Big Island when I was about to catch the cab back to Honolulu. This was back in 2010. I picked up that pup and took it with me. It was around $110 with the dog carrier and food. I missed that pup. I wonder if my ex's aunt is still taking care of him. I couldn't just leave him hanging. Where else would he go? I needed a change of perspective, and having a puppy for the first time back then sounded like a good idea. So the rapping, yes, I was pretty decent at it. I came up with a bunch of bars, but nothing that anyone would rap about because it sounds so different. Better yet, unrelatable to the 21st century. What do I hear on a daily basis? Sex, drugs, and money. The top 3 choices that fit the topics for that and today's era. And what did I rap about? Life. But it was a mix of spirituality and struggle. At that time, it was contradicting itself due to the fact that I did bring up some of the past life experience that did involve the big two. Barriers are there to push through, but not necessarily to break them, even though I like using that term a lot. So, I start my journey in the big San Francisco, as this city is where I pictured myself living in. A long time ago, I figured that going to 2 years of Pride in this city really made up my mind. I spent one time with someone like an ex-girlfriend and one single. It's sort of bad to say this, but I did enjoy it more during Pride being single. But anyways, here I am in San Francisco trying to make it. Did I picture myself making music? Yes. Did I picture myself trying to be a rapper? Hell no. But I did pull it off pretty well. I just haven't really had a good way of telling my story. Maybe it's because my mind back then was greedily wanting the effect more than the cause. So, I spent countless days living in my car, rapping about nonsense. Gosh, I do miss that car. A 2002 blue Honda Civic EX, and I named her short for quote-unquote Hope. I still remember sitting in that car, staring at a bridge that's lit up all around the edges with these plastic orange barriers in front of it. Will I ever get to cross the bridge? I would ask. Maybe it's best to cross yourself first. And that was it. Trial and error would be the next portion of finding yourself. Lots of it. I find myself in situations where I didn't intend to have any harm with anyone or anything, but somehow, for strange reasons, has a gradual effect on its happening. This is somehow parallel to it happening in different worlds, connecting in sequence relating to a butterfly. But we are all human. We are having a spiritual experience in the 3D. But is this, definitely, was this chaos? To define it, we experience chaos at least one time in our lives. And it is, in general, a term for the normal to be messy. The real definition of chaos is complete disorder and confusion. To be quite frank, I don't really think chaos is good, but chaos actually brings the best stories to tell and adds just a bit of spice into your life. Spice it up. The eyes, they say, the eyes are the windows to your soul. Just like the lyrics to Cascade's song, I can't get it out of my head. I take multiple photos while figuring out the contents on my to-do list. Why do I do this? To remind me of things that I have to do. As if my life is anything less than perfect. I like to keep it this way. There is such a thing called karma, you know. Such as I try to tally up the mess I made. At least this to-do list would definitely keep my mind off of it. I spent $1,000 something for this Airbnb in a suburban community, and I need something to stabilize my life. I try my best to ignore all the chatter. There's 10 people in this house who is either transitioning into finding a place to stay. I bet. Trying to get this music to blossom is harder than I thought. Anyhow, I met these two girls who stayed in the same room as me. One girl was a student from China. Her name was Sophie. And the other one, Nicole, worked to stay at this place. I guess she was the person who I've been messaging before I checked in. I didn't really get that much sleep last night because the Chinese girl snored pretty loud. Let's get back to business. I'm trying to get my life on track, but it seems that every time I try to do it logically, something keeps messing it up. I decided to write a journal to track my daily progress because obviously I'm not making the same amount of money as I used to. Trying to unlearn what I'm used to knowing is hard. How do you unlearn something you always had grown accustomed to? Today is the 8th of December 2021, and so starting point ground zero in the middle of San Francisco. When am I able to cross this Golden Gate Bridge? Maybe if I imagine myself on that bridge running, but all of this skepticism between the world and I need to make amends. I mean, am I really trending right now with all the windows looking right into my soul? I guess if I was hiking up several mountains in front of Paramount, I'd bet comedy would stir up sensual desires for everyone to see. I keep my mind close with me like gravity as I try not to lose it, losing my shit every step of the way. This is normal though. Just keep in mind that sometimes the biggest downfalls are the biggest lessons. So, let's number day 8 as the beginning of the chaos waiting to unfold within myself. The number 8 also is another version of infinity. Numerology is something I keep tabs with synchronicity. If I were to number the amount of chaos, step into the past 10 years, was it out of curiosity? Mostly. Maybe it was pretense as exciting as one could step into experience without even thinking. Sometimes we step into experience indulging in all aspects of wonder and get lost in it. I dwelled in it. The taste of it was satisfying my taste buds more than the savory chicken adobo I had last month. Prepared on low heat for an hour. Imagine the amount of things you can do within an hour. Imagine the amount of experience you can have within a year. And since I am manually running the amount of chaos I've experienced within that different span of a lifetime, it gives me enough time to reflect some introspection within myself as it gradually becomes clear. None of it was chaos, my dear. All of it was necessary for self-growth, and all of it was meant to prepare you in front of the mirror. You really aren't an alien, are you? In fact, you know yourself so well that it's hard to disguise that factor, even if you try to hide it. So start off with taking off the many layers you keep sheltered around you like blankets. Not Egyptian cotton, but the discomfort of comfortably being yourself. You didn't start the chaos, but you had to experience levels of action that you knew you would take, either because it benefited you or even someone else. I slowly peel off the onion, so thick with many layers to the core. I then ask myself, if I were playing the female role in Adam and Eve, I can never be Eve. She's just too timid, I say. She's too submissive. Stop it. Right there. No offense. If I'm playing defense, I'm definitely going to eat the apple right to its core. Not feeling guilty at all if my life depended on it. Well, you could be staring at the second Lilith. With good intentions, of course. I try my best not to steer off course, but every time I feel this urge to get away or escape from everyday boring routines, I'll always find reasons not to stay. It might be just a condition within my soul, the very light that shines really bright, and as I reflect, we humans deserve more. So why not get more? Low-key, just want to apologize in advance why it took me so long to open up. I know being a double Virgo scrutinizes the fact that perfectionism is my key to a wannabe fantasy, but I'm present today and I am aware of awareness today. As I'm working on myself, let's start with God's beauty of redemption. And I am a firm believer in this, because I do owe my life to the one and only source we are all connected to. The journey to the North Star is a method pinpointed to nature's secrets that is guided spiritually to the connection to your soul. Well, just want to say that I'm gonna stop it at there, and I am going to continue to write and open up the many secrets within the soul. So I just want to say that is pretty much it for now. I wanted to ask as well, just out of curiosity, if you have the energy that flows through you, where does the attention go? The energy that your body naturally produces and extracts and just basically has. The thing that you mostly pay attention to, that your mind subconsciously wants, even in your dreams, like in your dreams, your subconscious yearns what the physical is not really like woken up to. So in the subconscious mind, you know what you want. It just takes a while for you to admit it, right? But it's there. Are you going to tend to that attention on where that energy should flow? Or are you going to waste your energy on something that doesn't even want your attention at all? Or that attention that you actually want within yourself without any external attributes? What do you focus most of your time on that actually makes you happy? That actually screams more of your heart than your actual mind? Have you figured that out yet? Took me a while to actually get it, but I got it. See you at the arena. We're going on a mission to push our limits and our boundaries. Pushing our limits and our boundaries. It starts here with yourself. Purple. I'm gonna rep purple. Like this flower right here. And I'm gonna run that marathon like there's no tomorrow. Let's go. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lainey, aka Elaine, and I've already had my breakthrough moment. I'm proud to say it took me a second to actually realize and wake up. So, as I'm talking right now with this breakthrough, it's time to do it all the way and to not stop. You can do it. It's time to do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Have faith. Have faith. Have faith. Have faith. Sometimes in life, we don't know what our full potential is until we start doing the things that actually come from our heart, and you actually listen to what your heart is saying instead of your mind. And I figured that out. I've actually listened to the heart more and what beneficial things that it could actually provide, not just with myself but with other people as well, because obviously we all need a lot of guidance in the world, especially in a time of crisis. So as I'm recording this right now, I'm wanting to actually reach that potential and just go with the flow on where it goes, because I don't like forcing things to happen anymore. I don't want to force things to happen and expect things to go my way, because sometimes in life you don't get everything that you desire. But if your desire comes truly from a place of love and something that actually screams through your heart, it's worth going after, it's worth being, it's worth doing, and I'm willing to do that. I don't want to spend 8 hours of my day overworking at something I know I'm really good at and end up still not satisfied, because it's actually it's not even something that I want, honestly. People have their wants. People want to chase after abundance. I know where the abundance lives, and it lives inside your soul. So, with that said, this is the real truth of the real truth, and it's time for that breakthrough. It's time for that breakthrough.